The Chiefs are hot and the Commanders are not. We're breaking that down, plus defensive player grade adjustments today on the Locked On NFL Scouting Podcast.
You are Locked On NFL Scouting with the Draft Dudes, your daily podcast for NFL and college football scouting. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's better than this? It's guys being dudes here on the Locked On NFL Scouting Podcast. We're the Draft Dudes. I'm Joe Marino from Locked On Bills. He's Kyle Crabbs from Locked On Dolphins, and we are your NFL experts here with you daily to talk team building across the league on the Locked On NFL Scouting Podcast with the Draft Dudes, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Want to issue a big thank you, shout out, and welcome to our everydayers, those of you who never miss a single episode. We appreciate y'all being here very, very much. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app.
Joe, happy Victory Tuesday to the Kansas City Chiefs.
The Chiefs!
Going to spend our first 10 minutes today. I wouldn't be mad if it was 7 minutes today. Talking about the Commanders dropping, what did you say? Was their 4th and 5 games?
Yeah, 3 in a row, 4th and 5, 5 of the last 7.
Vibes are not good.
Not good.
And the Chiefs, the vibes are quite good as they handily put away the Commanders on Monday Night Football. I was multitasking. I did have this game on in the background, but I was very dialed. I did my first top 10 2026 NFL quarterback rankings. Last night.
Well, we will tease for tomorrow. We'll talk. I'm assuming Mr. Mendoza is one of them.
He made the 10, yeah.
All right, so we'll talk about him tomorrow. Maybe some other stuff. But yeah, I watched this game and it started pretty goofy, man. With some, it was the first 4 drives of the game were all turnovers. Some really goofy ones right off the Deebo Samuel's hands, right off of Travis Kelce's hands for an interception, and then it just kind of normalized, and you realize that the Chiefs are a lot better than the Commanders. And obviously Washington trying to get through the game without Marcus Mariota, and they lose their best pass rusher in Dorrance Armstrong. But they were overmatched. The Chiefs were pretty much able to do what they wanted. Their run game showed the efficiency that they've been showing with it. Obviously some explosive elements to their passing game. Their defense is pretty aggressive with how they blitz. And ultimately, Marcus Mariota and company didn't have enough to get them out of their skid. And so now Kansas City has won 3 in a row. They've won 5 of 6. They're scoring. They scored at least 28 points in their last 5 games. And this is an offense that was 15th in scoring each of the last 2 years. And so feels like they're about to enter November hitting their stride. And with the meat of their schedule, I think their 3 most important games, they go at Buffalo, at Denver, and then the Colts, their next 3. Yeah. So they're hot at the right time, it feels like.
Do me a favor. Don't pick EPA when I ask you this question, but pick a major offensive statistical category.
Scoring.
Okay, points, they're 7th in points. Pick another one. You can do some efficiency ratings, too. It doesn't have to be like a raw number.
Third down conversion.
Anything. Third down percentage offensively, they are 6th in the NFL in third down percentage. You want to know what?
Yeah, red zone touchdown scoring.
5th in the NFL. You want to know
one? Yards per play.
Yards per play. The Pro Football Reference doesn't have. I could tell you net yards per attempt, they're 9th, and yards per attempt on the ground, they are 12th. And in raw passing, they're 5th in passing yards, and they're 9th in rushing yards.
How about turnover percentage?
The turnover percentage are number 1 in the NFL in turnover percentage.
Yeah, it's cool, right?
They're number 1 in the NFL in time per possession, plays per possession, number 2 in yards per possession, number 2 in points per possession.
Welcome to Buffalo, Kansas City. We're excited to see you on Sunday. Hope you're doing well.
Living is good for the Chiefs, and it's like the running game, man. Like 148, 152, 112 against Detroit. That's no small potatoes, right?
Yeah.
158 against Jacksonville.
It's just really efficient.
Month, they've been rolling on running the ball too.
Yeah, it's not like an explosive rushing offense, but it's really, really efficient. And they work in their different backs. And obviously, Pat's got his weapons at his disposal, and they're kind of working through some stuff on the O-line with Trey Smith's been out with the back. Sounds like he might be ready to go this week. Whatever the situation that's going on with left tackle. Yeah, so there's been some things up front that hasn't been ideal, but hadn't prohibited them from looking like the best Chiefs offense we've seen in probably 3 or 4 years. Yeah.
Last 4 games, 26, 26, 30, and 26. Those are first downs.
That's a lot of freaking first downs. Like 20 first downs is pretty good, right? Good Lord.
Yeah. They don't have less than 26 first downs in a game in the last month.
So things are looking great for the Chiefs. Obviously, their defining stretch is coming up. The Commanders, you feel bad because obviously Jaden Daniels hasn't been available to them, but this is not a team that's building off of their NFC Championship game appearance last year. And I thought they had a very questionable offseason, and they've certainly had their share of injuries this year, but the whole do it again, right, when you have a glow up is real. And I think Washington's the latest example of that.
Yeah, and they've struggled to manufacture turnovers. The 2 turnovers in this game, they only had 3 turnovers on the season defensively coming into this game, right? So they've only forced 5 turnovers through the first 8 games of the season. You pair that with they have 7 turnovers in the last 3 games offensively alone. So they haven't been playing complementary football. Some of the challenges that they're navigating with injuries, and it's been wide receivers. It's been Jaden Daniels. It's tough. And this schedule does not get any easier because it's Seattle and Detroit at home. And then one of the great equalizers in football, an international game where weird stuff happens all the time before their bye week.
And Denver out of the bye. I got to think they're 3-7 going into that Dolphins game in, where is it? Berlin?
It's in Spain.
Spain. I knew it was somewhere different. Kind of feeling like a lost year for Washington. So hopefully they can get some of their young talent going, get Jaden Daniels back, figure out their groove. But I have a hard time seeing them crawling out of this hole.
They have yet to play the Eagles as well. They play the Eagles in week 16 and 18 this season.
Boy, that's a goofy draw to begin with, and especially weird under these circumstances.
I feel like the East does that often. Doesn't it feel like the NFC East?
Well, yeah, the Eagles and Giants just played 2 of the last 3 weeks.
Yeah. These weird bundles.
Not really into that. That's not.
Whatever.
That should not happen. Those games should be like
space them out.
Yeah, like at least 6 weeks between them. You know,
is that our new mandate? We've done some scheduling. We've achieved some things with our scheduling initiatives on this program. Is that our newest one? Minimum 6 weeks between.
6 weeks feels like the right. Yeah, I think 6 weeks.
I selfishly would love for it to be the first and the last 3 weeks of the season.
You like that? All your division games?
Imagine some of those conversations about how division races can shake out.
That's actually a fun idea,
right?
You lose the whole. No, you don't. Well, I guess that. I can't think of a good reason for that to not be the case. Yeah, because then, like the first 3 and the last 3 would always be fun because of that, but then also the middle, just because of the implications.
Right. It's a big jockey for positioning until your final round robin.
Yeah.
To close the season.
Yeah, I dig it. I dig that. Good idea, Kyle Crabbs. Takes on takes. I like your take. All right. The rest of the way, we're looking at our defensive player grades that we had entering the season. And we're going to talk about some players that we need to adjust. We'll do that here next. Folks, be sure to stick with us.
I'm Cody Rourke from Locked On Broncos, and this episode is brought to you by Peloton. Peloton is shaping the future of fitness with the brand new Peloton Cross-Training Tread Plus, powered by Peloton IQ. This is Peloton's most advanced equipment yet, giving you real-time guidance and endless ways to move, whether you're running, lifting, or you're cross-training with your favorite instructors like Alex Toussaint. It's training reimagined to make your workout more personal. Peloton is built for breakthroughs with features that help you plan, stay motivated, and hit peak performance. You can let yourself run, lift, flex, and go while Peloton handles all the rest. Plus, Peloton IQ provides real-time strength coaching, tracking your progress and suggesting weights that challenge you so you can get stronger. Plus, the new movement tracking camera, it counts your reps and corrects your form in real time, making sure every rep is safer and smarter. So let yourself run, lift, flex, push, and go. Explore the new Peloton Cross Training Tread Plus at onepeloton.com.
All right, Kyle Crabbs. Defensive player grade adjustments for the everydayers. You know what this is about, but maybe this is one of your first episodes, and we thank you for being here.
Welcome.
One thing that Kyle and I do every summer is we spend a good part of the summer assessing every roster and grading every player. And we put the different players in buckets, whether that's a franchise cornerstone, a quality starter, a sufficient starter, quality depth player, replacement level, incomplete assessment. And that allows us to generate a score for each roster where each position is weighted based on importance. And, we get these numeric values for a roster that we use to do all kinds of different things, including our weekly picks where the show picks against the spread. And the way those numbers are informed is by how we assess the caliber of the players in the roster. So we are taking time today to consider defensive players that need an adjustment. We did the offensive players last week. So today, defense is front and center. And where you want to start, man? I think there's some players here in the trenches that I'm excited to give a shout out to.
Okay, I was going to go with linebackers because
All
I
right.
feel like arguably the two. I think if you just put on the film and you looked at how these players were executing on a week in and week out basis, you could very easily convince me that Jihad, Campbell, and Carson Swesinger are the two best performing rookies out of this class, and they've both played like identical snaps, 460 and 461 snaps through the first 8 weeks.
Yeah, I had 3 linebackers written down, and those were 2 of them.
Great.
I think they're sufficient starters at least, right?
That's the floor, right?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the arrow is obviously trending up. So we would transition them from rookie class to incomplete evaluations because the sample size is small, but we would lean them into at least sufficient starter buckets right now.
I agree with that.
Who should
Well, it's not a rookie. I just looked at the graphics,
okay.
So we're doing rookies first, and I just learned that right now. So I'm ready to talk about them, but I was thinking we'd go positional, but that's all good. Yeah, those obviously. I think the Swesinger just got banged up, so that stinks.
A high ankle sprain. It's a bummer.
Yeah, things I don't like to see. How about in the defensive backfield at corner? I think we've seen some really good things out of Jacob Parrish and Will Johnson as guys that have been able to step in very quickly here and prove themselves as very, very capable players that I would pound the table for as sufficient level starters as well.
Yep. And I know we did some of this yesterday or last week when we thought we were doing everything in one class. So it's a good opportunity for us to, I guess, maybe comb through anything that we didn't, or we can kind of get into, as you pointed out, some position by position run throughs. I do think it is very funny to get on. I have 4 different resources up for measures of performance. And obviously I like the PFF for the snap counts, and I like to list it by snap counts. Do you know who the 2 lowest graded defensive players are this season that have played at least 150 snaps on the season?
I don't.
It's TJ Sanders and Kenneth Grant.
TJ Sanders is playing through a knee. He's going to be back and just fine.
And he is going to have a big opportunity, right? Because
My God.
of the injury to Ed Oliver.
Yeah, Ed was playing out of his mind this year too. It's crappy. Yeah.
And Kenneth's been better the last 3 weeks. So these guys are going to be just fine, right? It's early. Shamar Stewart not Shamar Stewart. Shamar Turner.
Yeah.
Tore his ACL too. That's a big bummer for the Bears as well, a 2nd round draft choice. You want to go into just some expanded, because I know we have a lot of players in general that we're going to try to hammer on. So we did our obligatory touch on a couple of rookies that I'm pretty sure we mentioned both those guys, the linebackers, last week. Let's go to that defensive line. You're going to adjust some defensive linemen.
Now, are these? Are we still on rookies?
Okay. No. We're going to open it to everything. And
all right.
the second half of the show is as many all NFL players, whether they're rookies or not, that we want to get.
I'll throw Latu out there for the Colts. Boy, I think he's coming into form very, very nicely. Was my favorite edge rusher in last year's class. I like Jared Verse too. I like Chop Robinson too, but Latu is like my favorite one. And I think you're seeing him really elevate his performance. I would say at least a sufficient level starter so far.
I'd probably be comfortable going higher for that. I think he looks like a quality starter to me.
All right. I'm not going to fight you, but you know me, I'm a little conservative here,
Well,
jumping up multiple wrongs.
You don't want to overcorrect and put somebody in a bucket off too small of a sample size, and I get that. How about I would like to make a formal petition for Nick Benito to go down as a cornerstone player. We had him as a quality start.
I think he's a cornerstone pass rusher.
That's what he is.
I know, but to put him in the same bucket as Myles Garrett, I know he's in the tier.
He's not though.
I know, but that's
there's a tier within the tier.
These are the ones that bother me. All right, if he's okay.
Well, would like to give some context. We had 1, 2, 3, 4. We had 6 tier within the tier pass rushers.
Right, because I think this is where it becomes the most necessary.
Right, and tier within the tier for people who weren't here last week when we kind of touched on the offensive side or when we do it in the summertime. You can be a cornerstone player, but there's a difference between being Myles Garrett and being a cornerstone player and being
Nick Benito
or Joshua Hines-Allen or Will Anderson or Danielle Hunter, right? We actually had twice as many guys in the tier within the tier, and we probably could have gone with the tier within the tier within the tier for those 6 and done Parsons. What would it be? Garrett, Parsons, and Hutch this year would be the tier within the tier within the tier guys. Like if you're tiering out who the best guys are in the edge room, probably,
yeah.
But we had Danielle Hunter, Joshua Hines-Allen, and Will Anderson as cornerstone edge rushers that were segregated down into the lower of the 2 tiers within that cornerstone. I think Nick Benito deserves to be in that conversation.
All right. How about our guy Byron Young? Time for him to bump up to quality starter, I think, right?
Yep.
Rams. There's 2 other Rams players that I want to mention as well, but as we're looking more towards the D-line right now, I would say Byron Young deserves that.
Where are you at with Milton Williams?
I think he's excellent.
So do I. So that's my question: is we had him as a quality starter?
Oh, I mean, I guess if you parlay the finish to last year into this year, he probably deserves that. Yeah,
I think it's not just an 8-game sample size, right?
Yeah.
He was a nightmare when we played him in week 2. I was like, holy smokes!
He's a good player. He's a good player. Yeah.
So I would advocate for Milton Williams. I'd probably advocate for John Allen to come down.
Yeah.
We had him as a quality starter. Hasn't looked it.
Maybe the other side of that is Jalen Redmond looks really good for Minnesota to me. I loved him at Oklahoma. I don't know if you remember when I had Oklahoma in my region. I was like, I don't like this guy. I don't think he got drafted.
I don't think he did either.
It's like, okay. I know that he's a little small or whatever. I think he got hurt maybe his last year, but I thought he was a baller. I think he's a sufficient starter.
Okay. Going back to edge, we had Bradley Chubb as a quality starter. That one's got to come down too. I know you're more prone on bringing guys up,
right?
But it shifts both ways.
Byron Murphy, our guy, Seattle.
He was. What did we have him as? We had him as a
incomplete. I think
incomplete evaluation.
Sufficient starter.
At least, right?
Baller.
Jordan Davis.
What do we have him as?
Sufficient starter. He's been good this year. And if it was just on the field goal team, he'd be a cornerstone. Right? Field goal block.
Yeah. Won him a game, right?
Yeah, blocked 2 kicks against the Rams. Ran the second one back for a tutty. Bryce Huff, does he deserve to come up from quality depth? Now he's back in San Francisco.
Sufficient starter.
Yeah.
I could live
back with
that
Salah.
I had 3 more. We'll get to those. Any other front guys, and then we'll get into the back 7 a little bit more here on the other side of it. So, folks, be sure to stick with us. Let's be real. Making excuses doesn't solve anything. We've all heard them before. It's just stress, or I'm tired, or it happens to everyone sometimes. But when it comes to performance, sometimes your body just needs a little extra support. And that's where Jihad comes in. Jihad offers fast-acting, doctor-prescribed treatments for ED designed to help you stop making excuses and start making moves. Jihad makes it easy to get started. You just connect with a board-certified doctor, 100% online. There's no awkward waiting rooms, no in-person appointments. And if prescribed, your treatment ships discreetly straight to your door. The process is fast, simple, and private, and it's all handled by real doctors. It's about confidence, connection, and getting back to the moments that matter. So visit rugiet.com/LockedOnNFL to get 15% off your first order. That's rugiet.com/LockedOnNFL. And don't forget to use our code LockedOnNFL so they know that we sent you. Rugiet, stop making excuses and start making moves. The NBA season is back, folks, and there's no better place to get in on the action than FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Even if you missed the start of the game or want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything from who will score next to fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you can even combine your live bets into a same-game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. It keeps every game exciting, especially when your team's making that late push. And there's all the sports going on. You got football. The World Series is going on. That game, I guess, on Monday was like 100 innings. And I found out about that when I woke up on Tuesday morning. The NHL, all the sports. So check it out, folks. Right now, new customers get $300 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. Head to FanDuel.com. Sign up. Play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA.
So we don't do owner classifications. But the more I find out about Carly Ursay Gordon, the more I like. She's
dialed in, man.
Yeah, she's on the headset making notes.
Yeah.
There's a clip on my timeline from that was posted last night, and it's her talking about how being on the headset allows her to see that maybe a route there was a wrong route on a play, but giving the context of, did the play caller accidentally tag the wrong receiver in the play call to call it in instead of the receiver just running the wrong route versus what it was supposed to be, and understanding like the complex nature of a football team. And she described it as an organism. I'm like, man, like you get it. Like it's great insight. And I have to imagine for everybody in that organization to know on game day, the owner of the teams making notes, trying to learn, trying to understand. It's a slippery slope.
Now, listen, if Jerry Jones was doing that, we wouldn't like this.
Because Jerry makes personnel decisions. Right?
Well, I think any owner that wants to make a personnel decision can, right?
They absolutely can. But she's evaluating the evaluator. She's not evaluating the players. I think that's the difference. And Seattle used that. John Schneider talked about that recently as well, talking about we evaluate our evaluators.
Scout the scouts, you know?
That's right. So I'll get off the soapbox. Now, you could dump your 3 defensive linemen you wanted to change around here, and we'll roll from there.
I would say Al-Qadim Muhammad with Detroit out of nowhere has been a good starter for them. I'd say that's a sufficient starter. Nick Herbig with Pittsburgh.
Sufficient starter.
I think so. Moro Ajomo with Philly.
Imagine being surprised.
Yeah, I think that's another sufficient starter.
Freaking loved him at Texas, man.
He's another like 6th, 7th round pick or something like that, right?
Yes. Off-ball linebackers. We talked about the two rookies. The world is your oyster, Joe Marino. Where do you want to start?
I just had one guy here, and it's Nate Landman. Another one of these random guys that find their way to Los Angeles with the Rams and become good players.
You know who his coach is?
Your next head coach?
Chris Shula.
Yeah.
And Chris Shula, linebackers coach.
Gotta keep Shula away from Miami, you know?
They just keep Shula it's been for 4 years now, right? It's like, man, we really don't like what they got at off-ball linebacker.
Doesn't matter.
Make it work.
Yeah.
Those guys, they all kind of come into their own, right?
And then they leave and go somewhere else. They're usually not that good.
Right.
But yeah, Nate Landman.
I would like to formally propose that we give a sufficient starter tab to Peyton Wilson in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
I'd like to formally propose we consider giving Divine Diablo the Jamie Sherwood treatment.
Yeah, I think that's a good parallel. I think they should be in the same bucket. Yeah.
Diablo,
good call.
Diablo maybe a little banged up right now, but
yeah,
man, he's been good.
It's a good fit for him in that style of defense. Next to Ellis, who's the 230 something pounds
guy.
Yeah, that's a good pair. I like that pair.
I would also like to advocate for Jordan Brooks to be a cornerstone.
Woo!
Linebacker.
I like him some Jordan Brooks.
Man, I love Jordan Brooks. You know what his missed tackle rate is this year?
25.
He leads the NFL in tackles, right?
Yeah, the most tackles?
Yes.
Okay.
His tackle rate's like 4%.
Oh, very
missed
good.
tackle rate's like 4%.
It's helpful if you don't miss tackles to get tackles.
It's correct. Yeah, and he's been playing behind what's been a porous offensive line. So I'm sitting here dumping on downgrading Bradley Chubb. I wanted to give a little bit of love to Jordan Brooks, who's been one of the few bright spots for the Dolphins this season. Those are my linebackers.
I think I'm good here. Justin Sternard, what do we have him? That'd be one to look at. I think he's definitely,
love him coming out of Wake Forest too.
I know, dude. It's like almost like the good college players are good.
We
NFL
have him as
players.
quality depth.
I would say he's probably a starting caliber player.
I think that's fair. Put him as a sufficient starter.
Yeah.
Never wrong, just early, right? That's what Trevor Sigma says.
Yeah.
I'm never wrong. I'm just early.
Right.
It's Sternad and
or it's out of my hands. It's out of my hands, you know? It's out of my
Right.
hands.
Secondary players needing adjustment.
Quentin Lake.
How high are we going?
Quality starter.
You could tell me you go higher, I'd believe it.
This is quality starter.
Really fun player. And we didn't really touch on the Rams trading for Draft Dudes alumni Roger McCreary yesterday either.
Nice ad, man.
Man, so you got Kobe Durant, you got Roger McCreary, and you've got Quentin Lake as far as like you
Darius Williams, good player for them too.
Right. I just mean guys that can play like multiple spots and what that does for your coverage rotations.
Yeah.
Versus Emmanuel Forbes, who I would argue, however high we have him, he probably needs to be a slot lower with how he's played this year with his 30% missed tackle rate and his 153 passer rating.
First round pick. A top 20 pick.
Front of Christian Gonzalez.
Insanity.
No comment. No further comment.
What are we doing with Cordell Flott? He's playing well.
He is playing well.
He's making a lot of plays on the ball, man.
You know what Joe Shane is saying right now? Never wrong, just early.
He's right. Right. 100%. Yeah.
He has to be at least a sufficient starter right now.
Oh, I think so. Yeah.
With what his play's been, he deserves to be at least a sufficient starter.
How about Kamari Lassiter, man? Guy's a baller. Houston.
Great player.
What do we have? I think we probably had him as a sufficient starter.
He was a sufficient starter coming into the year off of his season last year. Should probably be a quality starter.
I'd say so. He tackles. He makes plays on the ball. Like he's in a good scheme that like works for him. But I mean, he's stacking it together, man.
Let's see. Let me look. I'm switching over to what I have at safety. If you have another corner name, feel free to throw one out.
No, that was my corner list.
Okay. Who do you have at safety?
what are we doing about this Ty Akata? Safety out of Seattle. It's a UDFA out of Montana State in 2023. They've been figuring some things out in the secondary. I don't know if we're ready to go too crazy there, but this guy's a baller, man. Seattle's like my new favorite team to watch, by the way.
Welcome.
Look at their passing structure is so good, like with how they throw out a multiple like personnel groupings, and
they got the blocking tight end who can catch him.
Yeah, I really like it.
They've got the flex tight end. They got JSN who can play inside and outside. They got backs who are hammers.
I mean, their defense speaks for itself, but like the whole thing, like
can teams wake up and start trying to replicate and pull some pieces off of this operation?
I know
it's been as sturdy as they've come through multiple quarterback transitions and a head coach transition in the last 15 years.
It's been phenomenal.
Wake up, NFL. Grant Delpit should come up.
Yeah.
He should be a quality starter. We had him as a
sufficient
starter.
Yeah, I think he's a quality season. That wasn't hard for me. I was looking. The Browns have some other players that I think you could look at and make some cases. Like Ronnie Hickman, another one at safety.
Yeah, he's played well this year.
Right. Devin Bush. Like, what do we know with Devin Bush? Yeah, like we're just gonna ignore that he's actually playing well for Cleveland. It's hard, I mean, it's hard to say.
Did we mention Malik Collins as well?
Malik Collins might be the best pass rushing D tackle in the league right now. Like
he should probably come up. So we had him as a sufficient starter, but based off the body of work and the Jim Schwartz system, I think he's a quality starter.
It's like 5 Cleveland defensive players that we were like, yeah, I think they got to come up.
Somebody hired Jim Schwartz.
Did he what?
Let me see. Any other last names in the secondary?
But you could put Taylor Rapps on injured reserve, but you could put him as a replacement level player if you'd like.
Oh, Joe finally found somebody who wants to go on the record bringing down.
Wow.
I think I'm good.
Yeah, I think I'm good
for our major adjustment.
But I'll say this. This is something we should probably do in 4 weeks. And if the stuff that I think is true that I've been like close on, I think it'd be ready to really kind of go in on some players that I've been thinking about.
So potentially level them up again, or
either way,
tabled and kept in your back pocket because you don't want to be overreactionary.
I do this for my Substack, my herd mentality Substack for the Bills, where I go through the Bills players, and I had like 8 players that I put on notice where it's like, man, your bigger sample size tells me one thing, but this 4 or 5 games so far tells me another. And if it continues for the next quarter, we're going places. So I feel that way about a lot of players across the league.
Okay. So by the time Thanksgiving rolls around, we'll be ready to do this again, and we'll make some more adjustments.
Yeesh.
All right. Very good. Well, we have some NFL draft conversation tomorrow. Fernando Mendoza getting our first prospect spotlight. So we'll do our scouting presentation there. We'll talk through what we see there. We'll see if we get any more topical stuff for news.
Trades are coming in the next week, man.
Joe Marino, we're out of here. Appreciate you guys checking it out. Locked On NFL Scouting. We'll see y'all again soon.